Hi everyone, this is the second video for the SWAT model development and initial run. In this video, I will demonstrate the step 2 in SWAT model development using QSWAT for creating Hydrologic Response Units HRUs for the developed watershed. So before starting the step 2 work for creating HRUs, we need to check the data first. So in this working directory, you need to click this data folder. And then you can find these 3 files for 1 Excel and 2 CSV file. So if you open this CSV file with any program of Notepad, you can find this land use classification. So actually I used in South Korea's land use classifications for this one, but I matched all the required this kind of the SWAT code. Actually this would be in the SWAT database. So I matched all the required land use classification with the SWAT code. Okay, so it should be prepared for the SWAT modeling work for the HRU creation. So and then if you open this soil CSV again, you can also find this soil ID and S name. Okay, SNAM. So actually in South Korea we have very complicated soil classification. So I have around 400 classifications for this soil. So I already prepared all the required maps as well as this kind of S name. Okay, SNAM code. So this would be prepared. So this land use CSV as well as this soil CSV for matching all the SWAT required code should be prepared before starting the step 2 work. Okay. So another important thing would be this user soil. So if you open this user soil Excel file, you can find all the required S name for around 400 classification included in this database required user soil spreadsheet. Okay, database things. Okay, so this should be imported for the SWAT database as well. Okay, so before SWAT modeling work, you should prepare this kind of database information as well as your matched map with this SNAM, soil name. Okay, so I will close this one and then I will import during the step 2 work. Okay, so go back to your working directory and then if you click this YDDM folder, if you open this one, you can find this SWAT reference 2012 MDB file. This is file-based database, so you need to open this file. And if you open this MDB file, you need to check this user soil table on here. So if you open with a double click, you can find the same columns required for the soil database. So as I told you previously, with the Excel file, I already prepared with the Korean soil classification based this kind of DB database information. So this should be changed with the other name. So I will change this name with rename and user soil old. And then I will import the Excel file with this external data and then new data source and from file this Excel. So if you open this new window, you need to browse this button and then please locate your working directory folder. So actually I just used this working directory, and then if you click this data folder you can find this user soil Excel file. So double click to open, and then just select this one. Import the source into a new table in current database. OK. So click OK. And then you need to check the required table classification on here. So just next. And then you need to check all the objective ID, double, and all leave as a imported one. So the next. And then at this point, you need to choose my own primary key with this objective ID. Okay. So after that, you need to click next. And then imported to table would be user soil. So just finish. So close, and then you can find this imported user soil. If you open this one, you can find all the 400 around classification on here for the Korean soil classification, as well as these database information for all the soil characteristics on here. So this should be important to prepare. If you would like to prepare your country's soil map as well as this kind of database, you should follow this kind of type for the database table. Okay? So at this point, just close this one. So I will start the step 2 work with this main interface for QSWAT 3. So on here, you need to find this step 2, create HRUs. So you need to click this button. So after that, you can open this create HRUs new platform. On here, the first thing you need to do would be select land use map. So this browse button, and then go to data folder, and then first select this prepared land use data. After that, also select this soil map as well. So go back to data, and then soil folder. I already prepared this soil map. So on here, you need to select this land use table with use CSV file. So we already prepared this CSV file for the land use as well as this soil. Okay. After that, check this generate full HRUs shape file. After that, I will insert another slope percent with the 10%. So after, type this 10 and just click this insert button. After that, you can find this changed the logic for the slope band. So I will click this lead button. After that, you need to select this lookup CSV file for land use first, and then the other soil lookup CSV file, so this one. After that, you can find this leading grid, so you need to wait some time to finish this kind of the creating HRUs, okay? Again, this job required quite a long time, so please be patient to finish all the required work. So now I just finished the HRU creation. So after that, you can find this one, full HRUs count on here. So this counts would be around 8,100, okay? So after that, I will see this HRU created. So if you uncheck these DM as well as this hillshade, you can see this land use map as well as this soil map. Okay, so on here you can find the full HRU for that. So go back to this main platform for this HRU create. So after that, I will filter this created full HRU by this land use soil and slope percent. So before inserting this percent, you need to see this QSWAT3 main interface with this elevation report as well as land use and soil report. So if you open these two text file, you can find the associated elevation first on here. So you can see this minimum and maximum elevation as well as this mean and standard deviation for that. So you can see all the surveying based elevation as well. So on here, this kind of information on this text file. Also in this land use and soil report, you can also find the different classified based land use areas as well as the percent for the watershed. Okay, so you can see also this different soil based area as well as this watershed percent you can find. So again, this information can be, you can see this surveying based information you can also find. So we have all the 24 surveillance, so all the information included in here. So for that, I will see the majority of the land use percent for the watershed. So it would be 9% as well as in here, but I will use as 10% for that threshold. For if I insert on here 10% and go, I will ignore below this 10%. So all these classification will be ignored to creating the HRUs. Okay, so how about soil? Soil would be the 10% would be also okay. So I will ignore under the 10% for that. So I will use 10% for that and press go. And then lastly, I will also use 10% for the slope. Okay, so after that, you need to press this create HRU button. So please wait some minutes to get this filtered HRU map. Okay. So now I just finished the creation of the filtered HRU on here. So if you check all these map for this one, you can find this filtered the HRUs for that. So check this land use and the soil map again for this one. Okay. Also, if you go back to this main interface for the QSWAT3, and you can also select this HRUs report on here, and then you can see this filtered HRU numbers. So on here you can find 310 number of HRUs just created for this number of all the 24 surveillance. Okay, so you can see all the detail HRUs as well as these soil numbers like this one. This would be the HRU considering the land use and soil and slope, so you can find the HRU numbers on here. So this would be all the HRU we just created. So as I told you, all the HRU number would be 310 numbers. Okay, so you can see all the created HRU information on this text file as well. So please close this report file. So at this point you can find this step 2 have been done with these create HRUs, and then this step 3 would be activated for edit input and run SWAT things. Okay, so at this point you need to save this project file with this save project button. So you would be okay. Okay. In this video, I have made demonstrations for the step 2 in SWAT model development using QSWAT for creating Hydrologic Response Units (HRU) for the developed watershed. And I will continue the step 3 work for the SWAT model development in the following video. Thank you for watching.